Good morning, everybody. It's Mike, and thanks for joining me on what looks like a pretty rainy Wednesday, huh? Crazy out there. Well, it's Wednesday, and a lot of times what we do on Wednesday is our marketing director, Rob Hamilton, will prepare a few questions for me. Don't really know what's coming, and with Rob, you never know what's about to happen. So, Rob, thanks for joining us today.
Yep.
And you've got something there. What you got for me this morning?
All right. So, Mike, in your whole career, think back. Things were always great from the beginning, right? Just
Be careful. I'm getting older, okay? So sometimes I have time. Remember what I had for lunch yesterday. No, things like the first 2-3 years, Rob, things really sucked. Like, I think I was really typical. They say that like 83% of all licensees don't make it to their 2-year anniversary date. And I almost was a statistic like that. It was not pretty at first. Not at all. To sit here today and try to misremember it as in, yeah, like everything just fell right into place because I was so smart and aggressive and no, I was in my 20s and I sucked. Does that answer your question?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then when did things start to change, start to turn around?
I can actually remember the day it happened. And I'll try to keep the answer short. I won't give you the whole story, but things had just gotten really bad. And I wasn't making any money, and I wasn't very happy, and I wasn't feeling very successful. And I thought it was probably time to go get a real job. I was pretty certain that it did because I had bills I needed to pay. And I thought about what getting a real job would mean. The schedule I would have to work, the activities I would have to get done every day, the people I would have to answer to, the money that I would make. And then it did occur to me, and thank God it did, because it could have easily and not. It did occur to me, why don't you just do that for yourself? Like, if I just did that for myself, what would happen? Because I wasn't. I wasn't working a regular schedule. I wasn't being consistent. I wasn't getting a set of activities done. But I almost was ready to go do that for somebody else for a pretty small paycheck. Why would I do that for somebody else? Why don't I just do it for me?
Right.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to give myself another 30 days. I'll just probably end up deeper in debt, but I'll give myself another 30 days and I'll start running my business like a business. I'll start doing for myself what I am willing to go do for somebody else. And I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want to set up unreasonable expectations for people, but within 2 weeks, everything changed and I never looked back. But I did start getting up really early, getting dressed like a business person, not like a real estate agent gets dressed, getting to work, not trying to work at home because almost none of us can pull that off, and going and running my business like a business. And everything started to change almost immediately.
Okay. Anything else you had to change besides those few things?
I had to change a lot of things about me. First, I had to get disciplined. I had to find a way to get myself to do things I didn't want to do. The only thing I really did right, Rob, was luckily I did figure out a way to do that. I still didn't want to do them. Back in the 90s, I did a lot of, I'm not going to get stuck on old man stories, so don't worry. But I did a lot of door knocking. But I never wanted to. Never, not one time. But I found a way to get myself out of the car and do it. I picked up the phone and made a lot of calls for sale by owners, expired listings. I hated it. I didn't like doing it. But I found a way to get myself to do it, even when I didn't want to. And that was a big difference. Not that I all of a sudden wanted to. I just found little gimmicks and tricks that would get me to do it.
All right. Regrets.
We don't have enough time, dude. I mean, well, I'll still be going at dinner time tonight. If I had to give you one this morning, because we are pretty tight on time, I would say not having like a personal one-on-one coach and mentor from the very beginning. I went through this business all by myself. I did participate in a lot of the big coaching programs like the Mike Ferries, Tom Ferries, Brian Buffini's. I've done all that stuff, and it was helpful. It wasn't what I needed then. I needed a lot more mentoring, one-on-one attention. If I had got it, I don't think I would have struggled for as long, and I would have, when I did start working efficiently, I would have done so a lot neater, a lot cleaner. I would have been more profitable, more efficient earlier, and I would have saved myself a lot of mistakes. So I wish I had had that. It's one of the reasons why I'm so freaked out about it today, because I never got it myself, and I look back on it and go, damn, what if I'd had? So what we're doing around here is just me trying to do that for other people, because I never had it for myself, is just be here and sit with you and say, good idea, what if we did this with it? Yeah. Or maybe more importantly, not to discourage you, but bad idea, here's why, here's what could happen. Just to vet out ideas, to expand on the good ones and stay away from the bad ones.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, taking all that into consideration, what's the number one mistake you see being made today?
I wish there was just one. I think people getting into this business thinking they can make a living off their sphere of influence. I think we all have a sphere of influence, and I do acknowledge that there is the Lucky Sperm Club. There is a very, very, very small slice of society that was born into a social network, then that's all they have to do. And I'm very envious of those people, but I ain't them. So for the rest of us that are not in the Lucky Sperm Club, we got to get up, get dressed, and go to work every day. Have a target audience, know where we want our business to come from, and know what we need to get done each day to make that happen. So being more intentional is not being intentional enough is probably the number one mistake I see people making. And I will say this, because I know we're running out of time. I don't think it's the agent's fault. I really don't. I think that the real estate industry has just let the agents down in a massive kind of way. They have, to come up with their gimmicks, their little bright, shiny lures of attraction. They have done that. We're great about making people think that they can get stock or profit share and all this technology buzzwords. It's all a bunch of crap, and it's all a bunch of crap meant to avoid the brokerages abdicating their responsibility to help the agents actually grow their business in a way that's really tangible and practical that they could do. We have completely abandoned that as an industry, and it's criminal.
Yeah. All right, that's all I had. I'm going to let you off the hook there.
All right, great. Thanks, everybody. Hey, we can't end it if we don't do this right. Go out there and make it happen for yourself today.